Y'all sit back and watch me speak. About to take over your screen. Talking Bulls in 93. Talking mom, I'm on TV. Y'all know all I do is me. All I do is me. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. Y'all sit back and all I know, my money green. About to snap and make a scene. My cup off and make this free. My cup off and make them scream. Go back off for TMZ. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. Y'all sit back and watch. Watch me. Watch me. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back. Money long, nothing on credit. I got style, don't catch no feelings. All this bread ain't got no lettuce. I got style, don't catch no feelings. Watch me. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Sit back and watch. Sit back and watch. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. I ain't with it. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. Look, if it ain't got style, I ain't with it. I ain't with it. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. Look, watch me. Sit back and watch. Watch me. Sit back. Sit back. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back.
At the world from the eye of the Horus. If you Alexander the Great, then I am the Porus. Coming straight from the mud like I am a lotus. So हाथियों का बल कैसे सकेगा तू मुझे रोका? देख तू कैसे मैं लड़ूं, तुम लोगों से ऐसे ना डरूं. करूं मैं जिससे मैं तरुण, पानी पे चलूं मैं जिससे मैं वरुण. चाहे मैं जीऊं या मरूं, जो करना चाहूं मैं वही तो करूं. आता है तू ना करीब, तू बेटी चीप, जो अभी तक कटे ना तेरी ये जीप. Better believe you're gonna bleed. Pick up a seat, get in your team. I'm the king of kings. Brother in arms in a battle. You all gonna die if you act like a vandal. Bring the realms to reality from every angle. This is the public service announcement from Mumbai to the rest of the world.
Alrighty, everyone, how are we doing? Back again for week number 2 of the Victorious ARAM series, and we're here with 2 different teams from last week. We have the Thicc Gragas Monsters on the red side, TGM taking on the Bobo Destroyers on blue side, and taking a look here at some of these champ pools. They're a little interesting. I mean, there is a little bit of favor toward one side considering the champs, but other than that, I think it's going to be a pretty interesting fight.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit ahead of time. There's some really interesting things going for Thicc Gragas Monsters. A lot of wombo combos for team fights could happen when you see Seraphine, VAS together, and might I add, the boy, the man, the myth, the legend, Aurelian Soul.
Big Dragon can definitely make some big work happen, especially, taking a look at the other side of the table, right? A lot of the carries that they would want to grab up, right? The Sana, the Cardis, the Brand, right? They're very immobile, and, having a champ like the Acel to just lock them down and, have a Seraphine there to allow the Black Hole to actually do its work, it's going to mean a lot. And I think it's about trying to figure out what carries both sides are going to look for here. And we will actually be able to tell you that in just a couple of seconds here as the picks are going to get locked in.
Yeah, I mean, when we're looking at these teams back and forth, I'm leaning into Nefiri pretty hard as a good option. Just have the mobility, get out of dodge, as well as, if I remember correctly, he got buffed this patch, didn't he?
Nefiri
Yeah.
has been nerfed for the past little bit, so a little buff is definitely not a bad thing for the champion overall. But they do have a lot of setup for this Nefiri to make things happen, right? Thicc Gragas monsters have grabbed up the Rakan and the Gragas here. So they're in a pretty good spot going in to set up this Neferi, and they also have late game insurance with the Senna and with the Karthus just actually output damage to make sure Neferi can execute and, get rolling here as the game does go on and on. But we can't discount Bobo Destroyers just yet. Let's take a look at what they have here. And they've locked in a lot of that wombo combo like you thought, right? The Seraphine and the Varus. But sadly, there is no dragon on
No
either
dragon.
side.
I mean, at least in its place, we're seeing Singed come in, who is really good at just stacking on a bunch of resistances and running amok. We're in a spot where his passive makes him feel like Usain Bolt running a 9-8 all the time.
And the one little funny thing you can do in ARM, set up in the bush, get 4 of your guys right in front, and have the Singe just zoom right on past, get a good snowball with Nimbus Cloak, and flip any carry you want right into your team. And, win a team fight off of that, getting that one big pick. And the one thing to worry about, though, from TGM is they do have a lot of big carries to look out for, right? They have a Senna, they have a Neferi, and they have a Karthus, all of which will do a lot of damage as the game does go later and later, but they do need their items to come online. They need to at least be hitting those 2 item points to be remotely useful. Meanwhile, there's a lot of unanswerable poke here on the side of the Bobo Destroyers, with the Seraphine and the Varus who can just launch their skill shots and not really have to be worried about getting traded back against, especially because they do have something like that Thresh to let them play up, let them play far, and have that Lantern for added safety.
Yeah, and Xin Zhao with a little bit of lethality can be a very interesting bush to check. And I like that you mentioned the little bit of a roller derby strat, just getting some skates on Singe's feet and throwing him on out there. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of moments where that is going to get some really awkward positionings for our Varus, for our Seraphine, though. Because try as you might, there's only so many places they can go when you're putting them over your shoulder. And there's a lot of people who want to dive right down that squishy throat.
And that's all going to be on the Rakan, on that Gragas to start off these fights, because the real engage coming from Bobo Destroys is very, very telegraphed, but the button to go, so easy to click here from TGM. But we'll find out who's going to be able to make it happen here in just a second as we get ready for game number 1 of the night. We'll be right back. Alrighty, game 1, ready to go. Off to the blocks we go, and everyone's lining up, getting ready. We see the bush control already being taken over here. We do see a little bit of step-ups coming in. The hook is going to land right on the Pico right away, and they're going to be able to grab that kill up nice and easy. Lemon squeezy, but they can't do it. They're not able to capitalize. They're not able to find the kill. The snowball has landed on the halls, but they won't find it. But one more snowball will land, but not onto the right targets. No kills to be found.
Beautiful hook coming out from Hilfin, be able to start us off. And that's all of our summoners going to be popped by Karthus, as we're getting that first blood ticking on over in the favor of our boys in blue. This is what we're expecting, though. Before level 6, we're going to be seeing blue trying to run it on down, and TGM just kind of having to sit there and take it for as long as they can.
Exactly. Your TGM do have to play a little carefully, but they were able to find that big kill with that Rakan engage using that Grand Entrance. But right now, you know, the Karthus is putting in some work, right? Did get hooked, did not die, or did end up dying, but was able to put in a lot of damage from that passive, right? Passive efficiency, that's exactly what you want to see. But last week, what we did see was a lot of just pressure. So they were just pushing lanes, moving forward, and trying to hit the tower, and that's exactly what Bobo, is doing this game.
Yeah, we're seeing, though, we're going to see Pico constantly farming as the ghost going to be coming out from Singe is looking scary. The lights are going dark. Chuzzy Guns with a kill onto Pico. Speak of the devil and he shall disappear.
Karthus goes down once again, but this time not able to trade it back, so it is going to be a kill lead going over to TGM, but a beautifully flash from Gragas. They cannot confirm the kill with the cast. Exo in a little bit of a rough spot here, but 40 goes, but High Legacy will grab up that kill as well. In goes Rakan, will find that Grand Entrance onto Hilfrin. The flash is going to be burned as well once more. Senna lands the route, but they can't really follow up. Cask is not going to land.
Those health bars are looking scary, and that's what you enjoy about Aram. It's a constant bloodbath. We did see Exo popping that ghost to be able to get onto Karthus, as here comes a snowball. Pico getting another Dark Harvest stack, going in with it.
Under the tower is under tier 2, taking a lot of damage. The passive is going to be popped. You're going to pop out some decent damage, but cannot find anything more. It's going to be another 1-for-1 overall, but Thresh will end up falling as well. It's going to be 2-for-1 with the kill lead going over to Bobo.
That passive is toxic as we're getting into it. And just imagine if you got a dragon there, you know, you could just jump away from the Karthus' reckoning there. Wanting to run on in. A little bit of salt aside. This is what you like to see about Organized for Aram style. All of this farm's going right into Pico's pocket, getting a couple kills to be able to get these items on the board a little bit faster. And Senna's just going to enjoy their time, stack up, and queue from afar whenever they can.
Exactly. Don't really need to look for too much, right? You guys are going to be scaling over and over and over again. There's nothing that you guys can do, but they're going to find a good route, double route. Singe can't really go for it, doesn't really have the ghost or the flash available, so can't look for a big flip.
Yeah, and we're getting really close to the level 6 point where things start to get really high pressure. Matelas has the cask at the ready, going to be able to try to pop something in a moment and be able to bring it right into the Charmer. We can bring them all the way from downtown into our turret if we really want it on the side of TGM, as Singe looks like they're going to be the first to come up.
Looking for the flip, the flash will find it right onto Senna, but the Grand Entrance is going to be used in return. Explosive Cask will bring the Singed right into the waiting arms of Bobo, and they find the kill.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. There's only so many places that a Singed really can bring it, and that's both their sums gone all over again, so they don't have a lot of engage to be able to come back on, as we're going to continue to see this.
Big damage. Grand Entrance finds one, but they cannot confirm the kill. In goes Nefiri. They find the VAS finally, but Hilfin very, very low. The snowball lands. High Legacy very, very low. There's Searing Light doesn't come in time as Mighty Mouse might go down. Will not fall just yet. The hook lands right onto Rahan, canceling him out, but the stopwatch will buy a little bit of time, but it will only mean his demise, but he will be able to get out, dash away with that battle dance, and get healed up with the pad.
That's some tough timing coming on out of that stopwatch on the side of Xinjiao trying to be able to pop. The wind becomes lightning, and I was mentioning a little bit about this earlier. Lethality is going to be a fun stat.
Huh? I don't know if that's the play here. Grand Entrance does land. You can't cancel that one as Hilfin finally goes down. Wombat very low, will be forced to flash away. Tortwig gonna dash forward, but they're not gonna find anything else.
Yeah. Things to worry about for a moment. Seraphine can get an item whenever they go down at this point for the most part. And so can Pico. There's a lot of gold on this side, as well as we forgot to mention Mighty Kraus as the money bullet. So again, all this farm can go into Pico. Everyone else on the team, for the most part, has some really good ways of generating the money that they need, whether it be by making a play on the side of Motellus or Tortwig, or just, you know, hit them.
And we see the Dog's doing a good chunk of work there on to that Singe, removing basically a quarter of his health bar by just biting him down. Hook does land on Gragas, canceling out that body slam, but a beautiful cast will bring 2 towards the enemy team, but Halls will find that insect, bring it 2 right where you want him, and Pico dies inside enemy lines. Requiem is available, should be able to pop that one soon, will not do so, but Mighty Cross will fall. It's a double kill over to the VAS. Singe goes forward, dashing forward, will find High Legacy, will find that flip. The root is there, the ground is there, and down goes everyone. It's a quadruple for Chuzzy Guns.
Chuzzy Guns looking like the man now, but let's talk about it. Not wanting to pop that Requiem, avoiding that other side being able to get those buys, as we're seeing Bobo coming out with a full buy.
We'll get the kill. We'll pick that up, and here comes the Requiem. It might be onto Dancing Wombat. Should be able to fall. Exo next on the menu will be taken up by the cask. As down they go, Hilfin goes down as well. It's a grand entrance from Rakan with Motellus to grab the kill.
And there we see it. Clearing out the team now that they're all low once we all have our items, and we're going to be seeing a lot of damage coming out to this tower. Might even come close to the first tower falling right now just because of the extra damage boost from that. And there we have it. Yeah, red team, turrets destroyed. We're going to be seeing...
Grand entrance! Onto one, they're looking for a little bit more. Knockups are there as well. Halls cannot move, can only use his abilities. Will fall. Hook goes wide.
Yeah, there's just so much pressure now that they're going to have people coming back from spawn to try to engage with these minions, trying to be able to keep some health on this turret. And we're going to see a lot of spots like Halls desperately trying to cling on to some of that space as the hook comes out.
Hook lands onto the Rakan, can't get out, but goes right back in using that beautiful grand entrance to find a beautiful 4-man. But Exo goes forward, will not be able to find anything, will take a lot of damage in return. Hilfin next on the menu, the hook does land, and a beautiful cask brings Exo right into the waiting arms of the team once again as the casks are going off. Pico goes forward, dies under the tower, but that's exactly what you want to do. Halls is next on the menu, so unbelievably low. That pass, or that ultimate doing so much work as the dog will jump forward, go for the jugular, and take the kill.
Crescent Guard almost saving Halls. It's going to be looking like Red is going to run away with this one. Nefiri running
the ultimate land chains of corruption are there, and Kraus will not fall just yet. We'll trade back some damage, but Chuzzy Guns will find the kill in the end.
That's a Nefiri who almost got their second item out of that. This is a scary spot to be in if you're looking squishy. So Chuzzy Guns going to be shaking in their boots for a moment. They don't have many tools to be able to keep the onslaught from their doors. As we see a snowball land, this could get dicey.
We get dicey. Exo looking for Pico, will find it, but into the backline he goes, will fall behind enemy lines once again as Torwig trying to find some CC, trying to find something here. They should be able to find Halls, who dashes forward, tries to trade back, will not be able to do so. It's going to be a 1-for-1, but in goes the Seraphine, finds a beautiful ultimate onto 2, but the Dawning Shadow does a lot of work to buy some shields, buy some time. Mighty Kraus still alive, very, very low, trying to find a kill, trying to confirm anything, as will get that shield reset to stay alive for a little bit longer, and down goes Exo as well, trying to trade it back, but Chuzzy Guns will find the kill. The passive is stacking up here, has those Blight ready to go, will not land the arrow as it goes wide. Chuzzy Guns very, very low. High Legacy pumping out that damage with that big old gun, and Torwig misses the grand entrance. Will fall. The barrier is going to go out as well, but High will find the kill. Pico goes forward, finds the slow with that wall, but it's not enough here. But Hall's looking forward, looking for more. But it is just going to be an ended fight. Here's Motellus. Lands Snowball, though. Looks for the body slam. Does find it onto Halls. Chunked out to have a flash forward. Wind becomes lightning as lightning strikes. Taking out the Senna, and Halls is running away, trying to stay alive. That Crescent Guard doing a lot of work here. Motellus just doesn't have the damage to take him down. It's going to be a double kill for the Jin Zhao. Looking for more. Pico flashes forward. Will be able to trade it back onto 2. Very, very likely. Requiem will go out, but will be canceled out because he wasn't even dead. And in goes Torwig as well, looking for more. Beautiful grand entrance, trying to find Exo. They need to try and confirm this kill here, get something going. But the Lantern to safety will take him out. That Dark Passage. In goes the dog, looking to take a big bite out of Chuzzy Guns. So unbelievably low, but the healing pad is not enough. Will not be able to get there in time here as Chuzzy auto-attacking away, staying alive. But High has shown his face here, looking for those auto-attacks, looking for something here. But the hook will land. So unbelievably low is everyone here on the side of TGM. Flash forward, they can't find the kill. Exo might be taken down here, but the healing from the Seraphine is just a little bit too much. Tortwig still alive, will finally fall, and same with High Legacy. Forward goes Halls, does land, that wind becomes lightning, will not be able to find the dash.
It looks like TGM is starting to get a little bit of a full hold back as for that whole thing.
Goes wide.
That was an idea of all time coming out from Hilfin. They've been very good for a lot of their hooks this game, but that's not a good example of one. And awkward awkward timing on Pico popping the ult, though. They had 200 health, staring down 2 members of TGM. Said, good enough for me.
Oh, might be a death here. Exo will be able to find that kill. Chuzzy Guns grabs that one up here. Hook lands there, and they're going forward once more. Into the backline goes Halls. Will be able to find one. Seraphine does grab one on the front side as well, but it is going to be a 2-for-0 so far. Exo will find that burger flip there onto Torwig. High will find the kill onto Hilfin. The hook's not landing. There's just this once. Halls will heal up with that Gore Drinker. High so unbelievably low. Flash forward. We'll find the Grand Entrance. Cannot confirm the kill. Chuzzy so unbelievably low as the Dawning Shadow will find 2 with the snipe from downtown.
I feel like High Legacy has been getting away with way too much this game, just being able to pop the Piercing Darkness and start stepping back.
Goes forward here. The dogs are barking. The pack is here, and they find one. Looking for a little bit more. Halls is next on the menu here, but it's so strong, but it doesn't matter as the dogs are putting in so much work. Who let them out? It seems like TGM is letting them out the kennel this time.
What the dog doing? Nice little change of pace for him. After we saw a couple really awkward moments just getting danced around by Chuzzy Guns, being able to get a little bit more gold in their mouth, having that Prowler's Claw at the ready. They're going to be doing some scary damage when they're dashing around. And one other thing not to bark at is Pico is getting close to that third item, getting that Abyssal, that Void Staff. A lot of penetration coming in with a double burn and a lot of health just to sit back, relax, pop an E, and hang out forever. As, again, we've talked about this. The Charmer going to be popping from Rakan to be able to try to stun everyone up and hang out, as a Cask is going to be able to give us all the kiting that we need. Metellus also going very AP heavy. This is going to be a lot of damage coming in a very short period of time if they can place these barrels in the right spots.
And they're looking to make things happen here just yet. But so far, we're looking to try and get something. This Torwig will find the counter there onto X. I was looking for a play, could not find it, but Hall's doing a lot of work here. Cat's going to find absolutely nothing. Is Hilfin trying to find a kill, but the quickness into the back line. He's looking to find a little bit more. Will find all 4 members. It's down goes the dog, goes forward into the back line, diving forward. A beautiful counter engage using that encore from the Seraphine to find 3. They're trying to find 4, maybe a little bit more, looking for 5. We'll be able to do so. 4 is down, 5 is next. It's going to be a triple kill for the VAS, and a clean ace here for TGM.
TGM was in a really nice spot to be able to continue to take control of these fights. So, really strong early game team so far, coming into fruition as we're seeing just desperate attempts to scale on the other end. Lots of damage onto Exo to start that off. It was looking really good, and we saw all the snowballs come out with a sneaky one in the pocket of Torchwig. I thought they were going to be able to get more.
A lot of damage down. Exo will fall to Pico, who will be able to have some damage. The shutdown goes over to the dog as well. And down goes the idol as Seraphine falls once more. They're going to push forward, try and get these waves under, but great execution is coming out just in time from, at the very least, one member to make sure that gold is denied here.
Yeah, we have a lot of items to be able to start coming online. That's a good chunk of change that they were sent back to the fountains with. So we're gonna have to see these towers fall, get some super minions to be able to try to get some pressure back in this game.
Hilfin in a little bit of trouble here, trying to stay alive here. Go forward goes the dog. Will be able to execute on that one. Pico finds the kill on Exo into the backline, but Exo, you're on your own here. Will fall very, very shortly, and Mighty Cross is still alive, still kicking, still biting around, but will fall next to Halls. But down goes Pico. The Requiem is going to go out here. Is it going to be enough to take down anyone? Chuzzy Guns goes so low, but is not going to fall. Flash forward from Motels. Will not be able to find the combo, but the Dawning Shadow once more finds the kill. Encore lands onto no one, as it's a beautiful cast from to get them out, and it's going to be a nice ace coming in for the side of Bobo. Hitting the inhib too.
Yeah, these staggered spawns are just going to be able to make it so they can wreak havoc on this base and be able to continue to start moving up. The Requiem's not really hitting that hard quite yet, but it's enough to look scary, as we're going to be seeing Hilfin trying to just stall for time. Exo being able to get a really good flip, forcing Metellus under that tower, and we're going to be seeing them fight for a little more.
Hilfin in no trouble at all as High just trying to take down that tower. Will not be able to do so. It's very, very low. Tortwig running, trying to get something done here. Trying to get some at least trade damage before he does fall, because it is inevitable, as Singed will grab a triple kill, just like he did in Ionia. But it's not over just yet as they're pushing forward, trying to get some towers. We see the pings coming out. They want to take down the tower. They want to take down that inhib in one fell swoop. It's 3 members dead here for Bobo, and the push is coming in.
Yeah, I mean, TGM, they are all very, very healthy. That turret is going to be no more in just a moment there. And they're going to start trying to get some pressure back onto this ability as we're seeing flashes go back and forth. A little bit of poking. Nothing quite committed yet, as that inhib is just so low. This fight's going to be breaking out in just a moment to keep it alive.
Onto one, looking for a little bit more here as down goes the dog forward into the enemy's side, doing so much damage. The cask will do a lot of damage onto Exo as well, but they cannot find the kill just yet. But it's a beautiful engage. The Grand Entrance onto 2, looking for a little bit more Chuzzy. Will not be able to dash away from the point and click dash from the Fury, as it will be traded 1-for-1. Hilfin takes down the Karthus, but Pico is putting out that damage even though he has fallen. And they're running forward, looking for more. Can they find it? The cask will land, slows down Exo, who's in a little bit of a rough spot. Grand Entrance lands, same with the body slam, but Exo will be able to burger flick him out to safety, but down goes the Singe. The Mad Doctor falls with a beautiful feather from Tortwig.
This is not what we were expecting. Seeing that inhib just within a little bit of health. Now we don't have enough people to be able to keep this base alive.
Falcum's land. Encore lands onto no one. It misses. The entirety of the enemy team is hauled so very low. Will be taken down. The dog sinks her teeth in. And a beautiful stopwatch from Motellus. Will this mean the fall? The Grand Entrance will land. One goes down thanks to the Requiem, but Nafuri falls as well high, trying to output this damage here. The hook is going to land here. The Flay is not there. The barrier going to keep him alive for just a little bit longer. A beautiful Grand Entrance there onto Chuzzy Guns, who will not be able to confirm the kill. Chuzzy goes down, and a beautiful tank coming in from the Rakan, and High running for the hills. Will get burger flip back in. The Grand Entrance going to land onto no one, and High will fall, but the Nexus is exposed. Pico is up. Tortwig running for the hills, trying to stay alive for a little bit longer, and buy some time for a second engage as Tortwig going forward. Hilfin in a lot of trouble here. Karthus outputting that damage. The snowball does land. Tortwig is going to heal up there with that Gleaming Quill, but it's a 1v1 on 2 fronts as Exo runs in, flashes forward onto Pico here, who is taking a lot of damage, cannot land those Skittles. The Rainbow is not being tasted, as it's going to be a shutdown going over, and Tortwig still alive, but will fall, was not able to confirm Hilfin's kill. But again, it's still an open Nexus. They just have to wait for these death timers.
It's a really good hold coming out from the side of blue. Going to be trying to keep things under wraps just a little bit longer, but Hilfin, one of your strongest abilities to kite out has been these hooks. He's been landing them fairly consistently, just keeping teammates alive when they should have gone down ages ago. We're looking right at Chuzzy here for that one. With an Immortal Shield Bow in the pocket, going to be up in time for this next fight, and we're seeing Hilfin
just dead.
Plucked out. That's
just auto range.
I agree with that. I agree with that decision, though. Being able to bring him back with full health, hopefully in time for the next combat, as long as you're able to kite it back just a little bit longer. We need to start seeing these encores land, though. That's been really killing them so far this game.
Their Seraphine ultimate is very important. It has helped them out. That one big team fight they did win was thanks to that huge encore onto 4. But Exo may be in a little bit of trouble here. They have to fight while Hilfin is still down. They will. Torwig goes forward, trying to find something. Will not be able to find the kill. But Flash Motello goes forward. They're looking for the Seraphine, who cannot find anything else. Will fall finally. Motellus takes down one. The second is going to fall as well, as Chuzzy Guns is next on the menu, and the Nexus is looking juicy. They're going to take that one down, but not before they confirm some kills, as down goes Zinzao as well. Hilfin next as well, taking so much damage. Snowball will take that one. Metellus will grab it, but the inhib's up. Deft! The world's repeat is happening once more, and Rakan will fall to the Nexus. And they're just going to end the game right here, right now. Auto attack away. The inhib has fallen, and the game is over. TGM goes down. Bobo takes game 1.
You know how I said there's only so many places that you can go when you're going over someone's shoulder? Right at the end there, kind of confirmed it. We got to see Seraphine completely taken out of the game because they flipped Rakan out of the goo and straight down her mouth.
Yeah. Right? Just having a Rakan in your face as a Seraphine is kind of the scariest thing that could ever happen to you, right? You just get engaged on. You can't really play the game. Your spells are way too slow. Kind of rough.
Yeah, pulled Rakan out of that route, forcing out Seraphine's encore onto, I think it was only on Rakan at the end there. And that's not the spot you want it in. You want it to be able to lock up that Senna for a little bit, or even locking up the Karthus for a moment, is able to save your team so much health in those fights to be able to try to sustain Auto Requiem and be able to move on. And it's nice to see that TGM is still kicking, because they weren't feeling too great last week. It looks like they got it all together and they're going to be running amok this week.
So, one thing we're noticing here, right, in comparison to last week, it's a very similar strategy, though, but this time I think it was executed a little bit less cleanly. So, the strategy that we found that worked out very nice was just hit the wave, focus on the wave, and look for engages when the wave is pushed under the tower. And when you win a fight on their side of the map, you just hit the tower, take it down. As you can see, right, the enemy tower did not, or it took a while for it to fall. They lost a lot of ground very early, and I think that's what gave them the big goal deficit that they did have, right? And TGM
Yeah.
just weren't able to claw their way fully back into the game because of that huge early advantage that was gained.
I mean, if I remember correctly, that was in part due to the fact that they took a fight under their tower, and that was one of the first ones that not TG, yeah, that was one of the first ones that were really seeing people trading out, and we saw Pico held on to the Requiem in that fight to be able to make it so that their entire team gets wiped, but they did a lot of damage to the other side, so they could come back in with their items and be able to try to run it straight on down, and they got that first tower right off that second engagement.
It was an even battle, but it was an even trade, right? It was 2 for 2 or 2 for 3 or something along those lines. But saving those key abilities and winning the fight on the enemy side of the map was key because they were able to force the enemy to have to push 2 waves in to the tower to even look to try and push it. But then they were already low enough and they just got taken down.
Yeah, there's not much you can do in that spot.
Mhm.
It's really unfortunate when you see Senna continuing to live all of those engagements, though. There were so many moments where I thought that, oh yeah, no, High dies here. No way that they stay up, right? And they proceeded to get that one last heal off. They were able to get the battle dance from their friendly neighborhood Rakan, and they were able to waddle their way on out with lick those wounds a little bit, and then from so far away, just gun them down.
And that's a rough one there. But one thing to note about game number 2, it is going to be a side swap here. TGM going in on the red side and Bobo on the blue. So it is going to be a little bit of a swap up here. So we'll see if the sides do really matter. They are symmetrical, but maybe some teams just like being or having the comfort of being on red side or blue side. Really,
So what's your
it's up
favorite
to
color?
players. Me, I'm a purple guy. So
You're a purple guy?
purple guy. I do enjoy purple quite a
Ah,
bit. That is my favorite color.
that's rough, that's rough. We're gonna have to see what everyone's favorite color is in the chat. I love blue. It's a nice, cozy color. You get to hang out on that side of the jungle all day when we're on the rift, and even when you're kicking it in ARAM, you know, we got the better shopkeeper.
hmm I mean, the shopkeepers can be both the beneficiary or a deficit, depending on what you buy. But overall, they are good fun. They do always sell you the goods that you want, even if they aren't optimal.
But I believe we're gonna have to kick back and relax for a second and get on into the next game in a few minutes.
We'll be right back.
Alright.
All right. So loading into game number 2, we already have the champion selected and ready to go. So, Bobo Destroyers. They won game 1. This time, they have the Vladimir, the Jarvan, Ashe, Ivern, and the Orianna. And it's a pretty solid, overall composition, right? It's pretty normal. It could work even in like Summoner's Rift.
Sure.
But taking a look here at Thicc Gragas monsters, they are 3 beefy boys and a bot lane, right? It's Cho'Gath, Mordekaiser, Urka, with a Lucian Renata Glask, taking on the entirety of the Bobo Destroyers. And I don't know. I mean, the tankiness usually does fare very, very well here in ARAM. Usually it is League of Tanks. Whichever team has more tanks tends to win. But we'll see how that ends up faring here in an actual coordinated ARAM series.
Yeah, I think Motelis, we saw the way they were positioning last game. They positioned fairly well, and Ashe does have a good amount of damage to be able to deal with the beefy boys. But it is nice to see TGM on their carry having just a little bit more mobility. Being super immobile while they were able to pilot very well. Just Varus was so easy to get run down by the likes of Rakan and by the likes of Gragas. Just existing in the general vicinity is going to pull him in with that gravitational pull. But I want to see some cheeky doodles in the Shadow Realm, We're going to grab them and see what happens. Got a big old hammer here, and we're going to just bonk one out.
Taken to Brazil, one-way trip. We'll see, though, which is going to be the target, the nice recipient of that sweepstakes prize here in just a little bit as we get ready here for game number 2 of the night. Will Gragas Monsters bring back the series, make it a series, or will it just be a clean sweep from Bobo Destroyers? We'll find out in just a little bit. Alrighty, and we're rolling out here. The Hex Gates are being taken in, and everyone is pushing forward here, but that Hawk Shot is going to reveal the entirety here of Bobo, but a beautiful Claw will take down a good chunk of the health bar of Mighty Kraus early on.
Yeah, Obliterate, just so much damage when you're able to get those isolations, and Death Grasp is really good to be able to snake those in. Mordekaiser is deceptively good in ARAM. I'm not sure how I feel about their ult targets, though, if we're going to be bringing them to the Shadow Realm.
And Hall's taking a good chunk of damage. They are at a range deficit here. Actually, completely. There is not a single way they can get in without forcing something to happen.
Yeah, Orianna's just able to stay from afar, slow them down, and make it harder for them to get into auto range. And we're just going to be seeing a lot of that back and forth. Just Orianna with the poke, and Kogarth going to be looking good. Nice little rupture into little feral scream, feeling silly goofy.
Little nice silence there, stopping him from playing the game. A good look coming in, but the poke is going to be really, really annoying here. It's on Mighty Kraus to make things happen here. Claw is going to go wide here. Botellis is going to be auto-attacking. Has a huge range dominance here on the entirety of TGM as this Ashe. And it is going to be the normal AD carry Ashe, not the cringe Ashe that you're so used to seeing in ARAM. You know, the Comet build with Imperial Mandate. The very fun and interactive build.
Leave my 15-second ult cooldown alone.
Oh, Motelis in a little bit of trouble. Will not be taken down, though.
Yeah, we're just going to be seeing a battle of the Sausage Fest for quite a while as we're seeing TGM. It looks like a lot of their strategy is going to revolve around get 6, start executing.
And they're really reliant on their 6. They have the Brazil, they have Halls to try and execute a target there with that, you know, with the ultimate there, that big ol' hook. The Fear Beyond Death can actually put in a lot of work here, especially as targets get lower and lower. These health bars are exactly what you're looking for. A good pool, though, to dodge away. Tortwig should be able to walk out to safety here, but no tower damage has been landed just yet here. As Tortwig in a little bit of trouble, will get pulled back there by the Claw, but they will not be able to execute on any kills, and Vladimir's just going to be able to sustain back up.
Yeah, as we're going to be seeing...
so unbelievably low! Flash forward, cannot find the kill.
We're just going to be seeing so much sustain on the side of blue. Just going to be keeping them in...
Flash forward! First blood for Tortwig, pulls away as well to get out to safety too. No harm, no foul. They grab one and looking for at least some tower damage. The minions are hitting. Slowly but surely, this tower will be whittling away as they land the root. Chuzzy Guns in such a bad position here. Not going to be able to be revived by the Renata W still. Very, very low. Exo in the middle of everyone will fall as well. Pico grabs that one up there. The bailout not bailing anyone out today. Gotta pay to get your way out. But so far, it's a huge win for Bobo. As forward they go, they find a beautiful execution there. Pico doing a lot of work. We'll be able to find one more as they find 2. Big burger flip from Halls. We'll find 2 as well. It's going to be a big trade back. They can't get away with that. Tortwig so low. Trying to heal up, will be taken down here. The ultimate not enough to find the kill as Motelis trying to kite away, trying to deal that damage. Chuzzy Gun's so unbelievably low. We'll be able to dodge away from that Fear Beyond Death as Chuzzy so low. The autos aren't there, but Motelis will walk out alive. Halls trying to find something here, but the autos from the Ashe doing a lot of work. Flash forward. No. Into the Death Realm goes Exo, trying to take out Pico here, but does not have the damage just yet. Chuzzy Gun so unbelievably low. Pico trying to run for the hills, trying to stay alive in Brazil. Will be able to make it back. Not a one-way trip this time. It's going to be a 0 for 0.
We're just seeing that range deficit is so hard to get through, especially because Bobo has a very high sustained team comp. We're going to just see time and time again, TGM, they're going to be on these really low health bars until they can start getting off the ground. I want to see Hilfin start getting these feast stacks and just start running the game. Like, we're going to be seeing snowballs to be able to try to get some damage, but it's hard to engage when you're worried about someone flicking the wrong way, and suddenly there goes Chuzzy.
Chuzzy takes so much damage from literally everything. A 500 range 80 carry is going to struggle heavily into this team comp. Orianna, range dominance. Ashe, range dominance. And they find the pullback there onto Exo, but will not be able to execute on it as Chuzzy. So unbelievably no mana will be taken away by Pico. And they cannot find the counter. Hilfin trying to find something. The Rupture's not going to land. And Motelis just kiting away, using this range advantage, but the knock will be found on the Tortwig. So unbelievably low. Hilfin so low as well. But Hilfin will be bailed out for a little bit, but it's not going to be confirmed, as he will go down. Pico is so low, finally falls to the tower, but out comes the Berserk. Not going to be able to find anything there. Hostile takeover, not taking over anything here, as Chuzzy trying to find the damage, but just isn't able to output anything just yet. The knock was going to be found from Daisy, and they're going to try and confirm this kill. Under the tower they go, as Tortwig will find this one, and the tower's going to fall as well. And in goes Hilfin, in a little bit of trouble. Rupture lands onto one, only onto high. Hilfin goes forward, tries to find the flash, find the Heartsteel stack as well. But Fear Beyond Death will pull him into the gaping mob halls. We'll find that turnaround.
We're able to see a kill claw back. Tortwig, beautiful position with Snowball.
A lot of damage there onto Exo, who's trying to find a kill, trying to find anything. Use that AoE, just cannot do so. His Hall's very, very low as well. Forward they go. Pico dashes forward, finds the knock up there. The arrow lands as well. Lands true. Chuzzy Guns get sniped from downtown. Mighty Kraus will find that one. And Dancing Wombat has no way to bail themselves out this time, as Hilfin, so low, will be able to take some damage. Will not be able to trade anything back except for Heartsteel stacks, as they're struggling out here. It's 6 minutes in. The tower's already fallen, and they find a pullback. The Orianna Shockwave will find one, and Hall should fall as well. Exo's looking to try and find Brazil. It's Pico once more. The pullback will land. Flash forward does have the movement speed, does have the passive proc here. But Pico trying to live for a little bit longer will not be able to do so as Exo so low, but that shield putting in a lot of work will get rooted up. The bailout's going to buy a little bit more time, but they will not commit for the kill.
RNGesus has blessed Bobo on this day with infinite shields.
Will stay alive for a little bit longer, running for the hills. The colleague will find one, cannot find a second, but it will be traded back 1-for-1 as Exo does go down. But Torwig in a little bit of trouble. You're forced to flash away from that big burger flip from Halls, who's running again. Hilfin is very, very tanky, but into the back line, down goes Torwig. Beautiful Cataclysm is available. Will not look to use it, but Hilfin cannot get bailed out again as the hostile takeover does a lot of work there, but will not be able to confirm the kill onto Pico. Torwig still strong, will get rooted up there. And it's just going to be that for now, but the pullback lands onto Mighty Kraus, but they cannot find anything worse. Torwig in a little bit of trouble, will use that pool to get himself out to safety, but Exo in a beautiful situation here will be able to heal back up with that shield, and Fear Beyond Death will find everyone as the Flash finds 2, stuns 2, fears, and Torwig is next on the menu here. The Black Cleaver has been already proc, Hall's very, very low. In goes Torwig, the shields are putting in a lot of work here as Vladimir doing so much damage here, and Daisy helping out on the backside as well. The shields are doing a lot of work, and Torwig is just siphoning their blood, keeping them in a rough spot. The vampires taking them all down. As Hilfin goes under the tower, cannot even confirm the kill. The feast is ready, but he cannot get them in a low enough position. As Exo finds a beautiful pull onto High, but High does not care, does not matter. As Dancing Wombat will be taken down, no bailout in time as well. The reaction time wasn't there. It's a double kill for Pico on the Jarvan.
Yeah, we're just seeing Ivern and Vladimir on their own. Tortwig and High playing off each other very well. Didn't panic and pop the exhaust, so we have it up for this next engagement.
Slow, going to be taken down. The big flag and drag there, and Chuzzy Guns forced to flash away, but the arrow does land. Cannot flash in a straight line against Nash, but will not be able to confirm the kill. Chuzzy so low. The Ghost is doing a lot of work to keep him and safe, and flash forward there for Orianna, does not find the kill, and Exo into the backline trying to put something in as Mighty Kraus cannot find the kill, cannot confirm it, as Hilfin will take a big old bite out of Mighty Kraus.
Mighty Kraus is just playing with their heart over in Spawn, but we're seeing this. Bobo is so confident playing under these towers because they just get such a large health.
Good juke.
They're
running forward here. They land the snowball. Hilfin goes forward, trying to find Torwig here, who's going to get heel cutted down, but down goes Chuzzy Guns first, as Pico once again back to Brazil. It's a multiple-year trip going down, as Pico should fall in the death realm into the backline, though. Hostile takeover only lands there onto Daisy, as Exo so unbelievably low, and Torwig will just use him as a health pack to get half his health bar back.
Yeah, no, Pico has a timeshare, actually. This just in.
Oh no, Hall's in so much trouble. The bailout's going to be used as well to try and keep him alive for a little bit longer, but it's just not enough. Fear Beyond Death trying to execute onto Motelis will not be able to do so, as they are going to fall once more, and they're just pushing these waves again and again. The tower's so unbelievably low, and they just don't have the range to make anything happen.
This is a heartbreaking spot to be in with the way that things have been drafted so far. Just such a dominant performance from Bobo, really playing to their champion's strengths and poking them down, dashing TGM to ribbons.
Oh, we've onto 3, and a pool as well. The Hemoplague does a lot of work there, onto 3 as well as a double kill for the Vladimir, who has the pool available, trying to find the damage. The tower will fall as well. Flash away from Exo, trying to run for the hills. Halls will fall, is next on the menu. Again, the bailout just not doing anything as Pico goes forward. They will flash forward, find the kill onto Exo underneath these Fountain Tower, Nexus Towers, and the inhib is going to fall.
What are you going to do into that? You have the Hemoplague into the Cataclysm. It's so hard to get out of in the first place. There's just so much coming at you all at once, no matter how you feel about it. And I don't believe Hilfin has gotten a feast off yet.
Halls going forward, looking for something here, trying to find High. We'll be able to find the burger field. The exhaust is going to buy some time. Pico's still alive, just barely, but will finally fall. Dancing Wombat is next, but will be able to use that hostile takeover to find 2. They will be able to return the kills a little bit. They are finding their way, clawing their way back. The resets are going to come in, though. Motelis is next as well, but this is just bigger buys here for the side of Bobo.
Yeah, they have these super minions to have to push through, so it's going to take even longer to be able to get moving onto these towers to really start clawing back some of the priority on this map. Yeah, I think they only get 1 here before all of Bobo are singing and letting the bombs rain in, coming through these gates. Pico!
He's fine.
My boy.
Flag drag back right on in. Into the death realm he goes once again. It's another trip to Brazil. Will find the knockup, trying to run away. Exo in the back line, though, will spawn in as they do find a lot of damage. Torwig actually falls before being able to output any damage, and that's a huge whiff coming in. Pico trying to find the damage. Will be able to take down 2 as well as a double kill. Pico sustaining the triumph, keeping him alive. He's winning. He's conquering them all. As Halls will fall, it's going to be one more. Hilton next on the menu. It's a triple kill for the Jarvan. The King has returned. And it's going to be an ace for the Ice Queen as Motelis finds one.
Gorgeous Cataclysm, and honestly, I think a lot of this came down to Exo's ulting a full health Pico. Almost every time, Pico was already pushed up into their end for a little bit too long anyway, going to be in the range of most of your teammates, and then just tossed it all away. We're just going to try to go into this 1v1 into someone more mobile than us, and not be able to get in Pico.
Halls fails the flash, cannot find the burger flip. Motelis will get stun. Oh, find the stun up. Daisy will find the knock as well. Halls should fall here. Trying to find the damage there. Lethal Tempo has been proc. Dancing Wombat trying to find the damage. Hostile Takeover will not land. Woo! And it's the damage popping out. The kiting is there. Chuzzy Guns is next on the menu, but the exhaust will find enough space, find enough time. But the shield's coming in from Mighty Cross keeps him alive for a little bit longer in Brazil. Oh, the snowball forward out to safety, and Chuzzy will fall to the Vladimir, who goes into the back line, using that pool, using these damages, everything he has in the menu, popping off as a good shockwave, buys some more space here. But the knockup does land. The rupture is there, but the Hemoplague doing so much work on this backside as Hilton will fall. And next is Exo. The sustain is too much, and the redemption coming in from downtown will be able to save them both as Exo will fall, but Fear Beyond Death will claim the Orianna. And Torvig, though, just uncaring, unfazed, goes forward, looking for more onto Halls, but Dancing Wombat will get knocked up there by the flag drag combo. We'll get 1v1 here, but Torvig will not fall just yet, staying alive for just a little bit longer. We'll be able to stay alive, but no, the bailout will bail out Halls this time. It's a successful one, as Halls goes in, goes down. Dancing Wombat's so unbelievably low, the snowball will go wide, but the culling will take the kill as he guns him down in the streets.
Alright, Bobo tossed a little bit there. They were getting a little too cocky for their own good, and we're going to be seeing it come into fruition. That Kraken Slayer, Essence Reaver, both online for Chuzzy Guns. That's a lot of damage that's being pumped out, and if they're not careful, Motelis with their happy feet might not be able to save those situations again.
Still, no Navori
everyone's
quick
just gonna
plays there.
stack up.
40 goes, Hall's in a little bit of trouble. A beautiful Hemoplague onto 4. Looking for some damage. Chuzzy should fall. In just a second, will be taken down there by the Vladimir in the back line. Exo trying to 1v1 anyone. Trying to 1v1 Motelis. Cannot do so, as he should fall once he goes out. Brazil has, found a return trip back to home, but Hall's in a little bit of trouble here. Torvik will flash away, but cannot flash. Fear Beyond Death has flashed a little bit too late. Hostile Takeover will land, but Motelis just flashes forward, looking for the damage here, trying to output it. Motelis looking to kite away, kiting forward, looking to find a little bit more as Dancing Wombat running for the hills. And this Ashe is just a menace on this Rift. It's not cringe Ashe, it's full 80 carry attack speed Ashe, and they're going to find this inhib and look for a little bit more. And this Nexus Tower is so unbelievably low. Snowball lands onto the minion here, but Motelis is still attacking, is still strong, has the potential to just kite this game away to victory as Exo, again, just getting poked out, can't really get in, does not have a way in. And just auto away. Nothing they can do to answer. They need their flashes. They need their tools to get in. But Motelis gets pulled back, doesn't even care. Will dodge away from the rupture. The fancy footwork will get him out to safety as he's just kiting them out. Cannot do anything. And forward goes Pico. Will find a beautiful Cataclysm onto 3, forcing the flash out of Wombat. And no damage has been taken by Motelis yet. Hilton finally got into melee range, but cannot confirm the kill. And Exo running forward just cannot do anything. Doesn't have the damage as he's just auto-attacking. There's nothing more they can do. A beautiful Hemoplague onto 2 will force the flash away. Hall's so unbelievable low. Same with Chuzzy Guns, but they cannot find the kill. Fear Beyond Death is going to miss. Will not find anything. Torvik taking so much damage here, and the Culling will find the kill. It's a beautiful, beautiful combo from Halls, and Hostile Takeover is going to land, but Motelis will use that stopwatch to stay out of that one, and Chuzzy Guns is next. Chuzzy Guns will fall here, and Motelis will find the kill in the fountain, and they're looking to try and end this game right here, right now, 15 minutes in. But the Rupture not going to land here. They're trying to find the damage here as Hilton taking so much from this Ashe, but into Brazil goes the Ashe here, and Exo is trying to find something. Finally, these slows are coming online with that slow stick. The Rylai's is there, and Motelis will finally fall, and forcing the team to run away here. Mighty Kraus will not get pulled back here, but Hilton will fall thanks to the ball from the Ori. And they're looking for a little bit more. Pico going forward, doing a lot of work here. Finally finds a flag and drag combo there onto Exo and Halls. just trying his best out here to clear the way, clear the enemies at the same time, but cannot do so. Flag drag onto 3, but they will be able to find the Ivern. And finally, Halls is so low, but will be taken down. But it is going to be a big reprieve for a little bit. Mighty Kraus, though, trying to find this tower, trying to find this Nexus here. And it's Tortwig and Mighty Kraus. They can just auto-attack right here and end it in just one fell swoop. As the shutdown goes over, Tortwig trying to find the kills. Will be able to find 1, maybe even 2 before ending the game, as Hilfin will not be able to find that snowball. And just kiting him out, running away.
That's just mean.
Does not even care.
That's just mean.
And the arrow lands, not going to do very much, as Exo will find something. Hero Plague lands only onto 1. It's only onto Exo. But they can't really find the kills. The Rupture lands. We'll find that knock up here. And Motellus is back. Is kiting away. I think they're just playing for fun at this point. They're trying to pad the damage, but he will fall. But Tortwig will find one on the backside. Exo will flash forward. Will not be able to confirm that kill. Fear Beyond Death is going to go wide as well. Tortwig trying to find the damage. Trying to stay alive. Trying to use that sustain. Will not be able to do so as he finally does fall. They're just running in one by one. Throwing gold into the faces of TGM.
Yeah, we're seeing the fancy feat from Motellus. They were able to survive a long time in Brazil, and as soon as they got home, they were pulled straight out of the beast's mouth by Exo. So we're seeing a very understacked, underfed boy in the form of Hilfin. And then we just have moments like those. Tortwig is just playing with them. It is so hard to kill these carries when you have Pico setting up some gorgeous cataclysms, and Mighty Kraus, high legacy. Their shield combined, I think, is actually getting close to being more than Motellus' health bar. So you have to kill him twice. Forget having to pin him down one time. You're gonna sit there and tell me you have to pin down this queen how many times?
A lot of work, and it's a little bit rough here as the snowball does land right onto Motellus. They will not be able to take it. They're not going to risk that throw right here at the end as Pico in a little bit of trouble. Shockwave lands only onto Hilfin, but Motellus kiting around the backside of this team fight here. Exo very, very low, takes him to Brazil, but Motellus will take the trip back on his own. Looking for a little bit more as they're just fighting forward. They're going forward, and into the fountain they go. They cannot survive even in their own base as Chuzzy Gun's so unbelievably low. They will finally end the game. 60 kills to 35. Bobo just put on a clinic here in game 2.
That was mean. Bobo just ran away with it. They were being so rude, but let's talk about the early game that got us there. They were doing a really good job playing their range and just dancing around with that turret range, being able to get a little bit of extra damage on the tower from their minions with each little chip. And I'm pretty sure I counted 12 individual times where Pico just said, "Fuck it, we ball," and jumped on in under a turret, and it just worked out for him.
It worked out a lot, right? They're just able to output that damage because Pico can just face tank everything, right? Doesn't really matter. And then you have that Vladimir just diving forward. And I think it was just the fact that TGM just relied too much on scaling. Renata doesn't really do anything until that ultimate's on a low enough cooldown, and you have tanks that need items and time to actually scale into this late game. And unfortunately, they just didn't really have that time.
Yeah, it doesn't help that I think Motellus dodged every single ultimate that mattered. Like, actually, Motellus was insane avoiding those skill shots almost all that game. I think they got hit with a Fear Beyond Death once or twice, but for the most part, they were just dancing around, having a good time.
Mm-hmm. And once again, it is going to be another 2-0 series. And Bobo just takes it. I mean, game 1 was close, but game 2, wasn't even a contest. And we saw a lot more life out of TGM in game 1, right? They were, matching it blow for blow a little bit. They were able to take more towers. They were able to push forward. But this time, it was unrelenting from Bobo. And there's just nothing they could really do.
Yeah, they didn't have a lot of really good outs in their draft options either. More scaling in the form of Kale, but it would have been a little bit more range. And maybe that could have made a difference, being able to pop that ultimate and be able to have a couple moments reprieve for someone on your team. But it's all up in the air. Who's to say one way or another too much? Bobo just displayed such a dominant game, being utterly disrespectful, just actively avoiding ending it. For a while, I thought they were going to go until they aced.
It's a rough one. But I mean, Bobo's looking strong here. They had a similar showing in game or in week 1, taking a 2-0 victory. And we'll see if they're able to continue that streak. But next week, we'll figure out who we're going to be watching, as we'll see you guys in just a little bit. Have a great night, everyone, and we'll see you again soon.
Bella ciao.
Visions in my head of this, you don't know the half of it. I got dreams of looking up, high as I can get, but nothing feels like how it feels to know these things I don't know yet. The weight of everything, and everything's just thread. Sometimes I'm trapped inside and I don't know what I'm gonna do. But to take on the world is the only thing that we know how to do. I've got dreams of finding out what all of this is for. It's you and me, and everywhere we go will lead to an open door. We've made our mistakes, the good and bad days, but nothing really breaks if I got you. Look at the sky when you go outside, and know there is nothing to keep me back.